Hello, Michelle. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm pretty good. This is a weird day. It's like been like really sunny and then also like kind of stormy. Like there was supposed to be like thunder and
Yeah,
lightning or something. I don't
truly. I was stuck in the rain for a full 5 minutes.
seriously.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. Why?
Hmm.
Why
Seattle.
Seattle? Um. So this is our musician Michelle Dodson, um, for Golden Thread Women's Work, and Michelle, I want to know what's the most exciting thing, like the most exciting part of being a part of the Golden Thread for you. I know you've been a part of it. You're our only alumni besides like me, besides like my family. Um, so how does it feel to be back, and what's the most exciting part for you?
Man, I I love working with Kimberly. Um, and all of you children. It's truly fantastic to be such a ingrained member in a wonderful art community, and especially the one that Kimberly's cultivating. Um, and getting to know all these artists that they bring in is just fantastic. The
Yeah.
poets, the dancer that we're supposed to be having in this one, I'm really excited about that. And then the artists, the visual artists who perform. It's always fantastic to have you know all these different mediums of art coming together and collaborating to create just a really beautiful experience, really.
Yeah.
Um, and I fully expect this time to be absolutely no different than our inaugural one.
Yes. Um, it's really cool. I mean, I think it's something that's really awesome for me about this is like now that we're on our third one, having been like the host, and I get to. I mean, we're starting to do these interviews. We did those for the last show. Although I didn't get to interview everyone, I'm not sure I'll be able to interview everyone. I mean, yeah, everyone this time either. But still, like being able to interact and create art with and create, this like art community, like deepening an art community within even
True.
within this like time where we can't be, in person. It's pretty incredible. What has there been anything for you has made um that has made creating during this time easier? Like, have you had difficulty staying motivated, and has there been anything that's helped you stay motivated in being creative and being your expressive self?
Yeah, there's definitely been some ups and downs for me. I think I think at the beginning I was like ultra motivated because I my job had just been furloughed and I like had all this free time.
Right.
So I was working like a lot. I was doing a lot of, you know, creative artistic endeavors that I hadn't usually had the time for, that had been on my bucket list. But after I did those, I was like, well, I've done everything I wanted to do for now.
Yeah.
So it kind of fizzled out, and now it comes in waves again. You know, the boom and bust cycle of being an artist. So I mean, I like recorded an album and got it out on Spotify and stuff, which is like
Yeah. If you want
there's
to give a
like
little, if you
creative
want to give a
growth.
little like self plug, go for it.
No, that was not the purpose. I mean, it's just like that was like the big thing that I did during the pandemic,
That's a pretty cool thing to be able to say you did during a fucking pandemic.
right?
Yeah,
Pretty stoked about that.
yeah.
But
But
then, I
let's
mean,
put out an album,
you know, um, but yeah, I mean, just like smaller things, working on pieces of music that I didn't get a chance to like go over in college or
Mm,
that I haven't gone over in a really long time, even though I probably should have. But that's like the goal that I have now, just to like keep myself afloat, and just, daily maintenance on my instrument, because it's really like, it's more athletic than you would think to play an instrument. You have to keep like all these like fine-tuned muscles,
Yeah.
like really in shape. And the calluses on my fingers, especially, these have taken years to build up. And like, if I stop practicing, they're gonna go away. I'm gonna have to like get blisters all on my fingertips again, and that's a real hassle. So that's why I keep practicing, like,
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that like there are parts of each artistic practice that you have to that are like maintaining calluses. Like for you,
Yeah.
obviously, you play the cello, which is a very like, I mean, string
It's
instruments in general. But it seems like I could not do that. I actually started to learn how to play the violin in like
yeah.
fifth grade, and I gave up. I was like, this is too much. I went on to play wind instruments, but which are which are much easier. But even those, and hearing from each of the artists about how they're keeping up their practice is really interesting, because for you it's so much, it's much more of a physical and probably sort of a little bit of a mental
Oh, yeah.
like exercise that you have to uh, use. But like for an actor, keeping your emotions sharp, keeping your emotional like,
These days, that's not easy.
yeah.
Can confirm.
Yeah. um,
Wow.
yeah, that's amazing. Is there anything that you feel that really like fuels your creative practice, or um like anything that makes you really want to create? That can be really like anything. I've had very different answers to that question. So I'm curious, is there anything that like feeds your soul, feeds your fire?
This is gonna sound really dark. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
I love like going on big projects after I break up with someone.
Mhm.
Breakups like bring out all these emotions. Even I'm usually the one breaking up with people, but it's like it gets you, because you're obviously in a place where you're like not very happy, and like
Yeah.
because my disposition's like normally happier, the fact that I get to like feel these not happy emotions really like brings out my creative juices. I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to work on these like sad sounding songs and like these angry songs.
Right.
um so it's inspirational to like have those emotions inside me, and then be able to like feed the music the emotions that it actually needs to really pop.
Right.
uh, so that's a pretty inspirational.
Yeah, absolutely. That's I think that's interesting, because relationships for like artists are always so like have such like leave such an imprint. Literally, like I have a fear of dating like uh a songwriter, because Jesus, that sounds
Yeah,
like,
your entire relationship is gonna be put out to dry.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Like, ooh, or like a poet. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh,
you better be nice to those writers, man, or they're they're gonna do your,
people are gonna know your name.
oh yeah. um so you do obviously classical, not obviously, but we've been talking about, like,
Kids were there.
you've been doing or you like trained in doing classical cello, but you also have done some other styles. What I want to hear more about that, because I heard a little bit, but I want to know more.
Yeah, sure. So I studied classical music. You know, beginning in cello, you kind of have to. It's a classical music instrument. So I started off when I was like 10 doing classical music all the way through college. I got a degree in classical performance. But during my time in Chicago, I did, you know, being in Chicago, like one of the hubs of jazz music, I decided to, venture in to study a little bit of jazz music. Um, and I did record with a I would call it a funk jazz fusion band.
Hmm.
A little bit of pop, it's a little element of pop in there too, and it was just fantastic. So dipping my toes into that genre was really really fun.
Hmm.
Um, and then um, I've played like background music for a couple of spoken word artists, and like going into the rap genre a little bit, and that's been really fun. I'm gonna try and get a little more into that in the future,
Hmm.
pending, pandemic
Yeah.
stopping. you know, um,
Yeah.
yeah, trying to branch out into other genres besides classical music because everyone knows classical music. It's really just playing covers of music
Right.
that's already been played 100 times before.
Do you have any goals that you, um, like any like production goals, or do you want to? I know, like the amazing thing about cello is that it's so obviously it's kind of stems from like more classical. It's seen as more of a classical instrument, but it's used in all kinds of music. Like
Really.
literally, I mean, I listen to so many different kinds of music, and I have growing up, and like hearing strings in general has always been so interesting to me because like you wouldn't necessarily be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put that in like a rock a rock kind of sound,
Yeah.
or like a I don't even know, like a pop kind of sound, or I don't know. But it is.
But it
It's a
worked.
really it
Yeah.
works so well. So do you have any like hopes or dreams or aspirations, goals to to like have that be a part uh of your, like, either to record music like that or to perform it live?
Yes. Short answer, definitely yes. I I have been playing for a a couple like film scores, and I think film scores are like fascinating recording. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the music writing is different than songs that you would hear like on the radio. It's different writing styles, and it's also different from things that you would hear a symphony play in like symphony hall.
Yeah.
So I think going down that venue or like down that avenue would be really cool, especially because Seattle has a really cool indie film scene. Did you know
Oh
that?
yeah, definitely.
Heck yeah, 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 yeah. So trying to get a little more into that just because it's fantastic music and it's really fun to play.
Yeah.
Um, but pop music, as long as I like enjoy the artist that I'm playing
Right.
for, believe in them, if you will. Yeah, I'd be down to play with other genres
Yeah.
always.
That's Oh my God, that's so cool. I love that you said I like totally wasn't even thinking about movies or like film soundtracks, but absolutely. Oh my God. Like soundtracks are one of my favorite things to listen to. Why did I forget that?
Really? Oh,
Like, yeah, seriously, like especially for study music and stuff.
yeah.
You should create like a study music like sound, or like a study music album. That's your next project. I'm
I've
assigning it for you right
actually been told that previously as
now. Oh yeah,
well.
I'm sure. um, yeah, it's funny because I always like I played the tuba um, for like 4 years, and I loved it. Well, I tried to play the violin.
Sure,
That didn't go very well.
I get
Yeah, I
it.
quit after a few months. I think actually if I would have like chosen cello, I would have stuck with it because cello is a way more beautiful instrument to me. Well, personally, I like the cello sound better.
Preached into the choir.
Yeah, exactly. But and then I did flute for a year, and then I did I did a baritone, and then I played the baritone, and then I played the tuba. And I always wanted to play. I like had this aspiration to do movie soundtracks. So I hope that you can do that. That would be really epic. I'm sure you can because you're like hella talented.
Stop.
But thank you so much. I could just keep talking to you for hours. I love music, people. Man.
Yes.
But thank you so much for the conversation. And everyone, be sure to get your tickets for June 13th at 7, Women's Work, Golden Thread, Women's Work. And Michelle Dodson is our wonderful cello musician. And I'm assuming Kipper, your dog Kipper, is going to make a guest appearance, right?
He wants to, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, we might see Kipper. All right. So Michelle Dodson featuring Kipper. All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, you too.